welcome in everybody. It is a fight week here in New York, and the 2023 PFL playoffs are in full swing already as this year's field of athletes is looking to move forward in the PFL's one-of-a-kind season format where every fight matters. Now, we had an incredible night of fights in San Antonio earlier this month, and over the next 2 weeks here in New York, this year's PFL World Championship lineup will be settled. Now, first, let me say thank you to everybody who is joining us on today's global media gathering. Now we'll bring in the headliners, of course, of 2023 PFL 8, which takes place this Friday at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden and features semifinal matchups in the heavyweight and women's featherweight divisions, with all the action airing on ESPN and ESPN+. So we will start out by welcoming the number 2 seed in this year's playoffs. He is a towering Brazilian whose 3 most recent victories were each registered in less than a minute. He is the 6'8" problema, Renan Ferreira. Renan, thank you for being here today. Appreciate it, brother. And of course, his opponent over here as well on Friday night is the equally massive number 5 seed. He is standing 6'7" and boasting an 82% career finish rate. Not to mention one of the best nicknames in all of the sport. He is the crochet boss, Maurice Greene. Maurice, good to see you again.
AKA Mr. Steal Your Granny.
Mr. Steal Your Granny, all right.
Hey, man, you know, there's a lot of grandmas in the industry of crocheting.
All right, well, we knew there was going to be trash talk of all kinds. All right, let's get to a couple questions. Renan, I wanted to open today with you. You're always a very respectful, kind of humble guy, but when the 3 of us were on a media call a few weeks back, you kind of surprised us by saying, and I'll quote, "The toughest part of this matchup is that he's an ugly guy." What prompted you to come out of your shell a little bit and kind of poke the bear a little bit?
O que fez você falar isso?
Todo mundo tá vendo, pô, é só olhar pra ele.
Everyone's seeing it. Just look at his face.
I mean,
I'm good looking. I'm tripping.
well, listen, we know Maurice is never afraid to speak his mind, but here's another thing that stood out to me from that call is that he said, "I don't know who gave Renan his black belt because I ain't seen no jiu-jitsu from him." Now, I know your striking is capable of ending fights quickly, but I wonder if there's any part of you that might want to prove something in the grappling game, given the comment that he made about your jiu-jitsu.
Ele quer me provocar, tentar me levar pra fazer alguma coisa, porque ele tá com muito medo das minhas mãos. Ele sabe da minha explosão, da força que eu tenho. E quando a minha mão tocar a cara dele, ele vai sentir.
He just wants to provoke me, really. He wants to, you know, try to change my game plan, change what I'm doing. He's just scared of my hands. He knows once these hands touch him, he's going to feel it all right.
I'm sure I will.
All right.
I will. You know, we're heavyweights. We all hit hard, right?
Everybody hits hard in the heavyweight division.
Todo mundo bate
I
pesado.
fought heavyweights that hit harder than him.
Já lutei com peso
Fuck is you
pesado
talking
que bate
about?
mais pesado, mais forte que você. Tá viajando.
No, I'm not. I don't want to provoke him, but you know, you go back and look at his fights as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. There's really no Jiu-Jitsu to be done. There's no Jiu-Jitsu, so I'm curious to see who gave him that, or if he went and bought it at Macy's or something. Somebody, you know.
Nunca lutou com ninguém que saiba de jiu-jitsu, então não sabe de onde saiu essa faixa preta e não sabe se comprou em algum lugar ou, enfim, vamos descobrir.
Para um cara que caiu de paraquedas, né, tá falando bastante. Vamos ver o que ele vai fazer aí na sexta-feira.
For a guy that just came in here as a number 5 seed, you know, because of someone else was injured, he sure is talking a lot, so let's see.
Your ass got beat in the first round and got that shit overturned. What is you talking about? What are you? You're only a number 2 seed because you got given 3 points. What is you talking about? Goofy?
Você só é o número 2 porque
Next?
te deram a luta aí depois que você perdeu que mudaram o resultado, né, da sua luta contra
What are you talking
o
about,
russo.
fam?
Então você só tá aqui como número 2 por conta disso, porque recebeu os 3 pontos.
Mas não fui mandado embora de nenhuma organização e fiz 3 lutas e ganhei uma, né, cara? Então, os números falam por si.
Yeah, I wasn't sent back home from another organization.
You never made it to the other organization.
Number
What are
for
you talking
themselves.
about?
Você nunca nem chegou nessa outra organização, tá falando do quê?
Chegar numa organização para poder ser mandado embora, eu prefiro ficar de fora.
I'd rather stay outside than to make it out there and get kicked
Bull.
out.
All right, well, I know Maurice has got some
Bull.
few questions for you, but I want to ask one last. The other really strong claim that he made was that I've seen Renan break. I've seen him break in fights where he's a bully, but if he can't bully you and the going gets tough, he folds. What's your reaction to that claim?
Pô, todas as minhas lutas eu fui pra cima, eu andei pra dentro, entendeu? Em nenhuma das minhas lutas eu andei pra trás, então tive algumas lutas que lutei lesionado, mas assim, ele tá com muito medo, tá querendo arrumar argumento aí pra, porra, tentar me destabilizar.
If you watch my fights, you see I only know one way is to move forward. Just look at the results. He's just trying to find a way to, destabilize me and throw me off my game. He's the scared one here.
I'm not scared.
All right, Maurice, I know you've been.
I'm not scared.
I know you've been chomping at the bit to state your piece, so let's get a couple
Oh, my
questions with you
goodness.
as well. Listen,
Go ahead, what's up?
when we spoke earlier this month, you mentioned your excitement to this tournament just to the fact that after 11 years as a pro, you're finally taking everything 100% serious. Now, I do want to point out you were smoking a cigarette while you said that, but you did say you're taking it 100% serious, so I just want to ask kind of maybe what the catalyst was to change that at this point in your career and go all in, lift the weights, do what you're doing now.
Man, it was just, I've been fighting for a long time now, and for a long time it was literally, I was trying to get the biggest bag, and sometimes you don't get a full fight camp in to get the bag, and you just got to take fights as they come. And sometimes you don't have all the training partners in the room, you don't have all the resources that you have, but it's hard not to do it right when you train with Jon Jones. It's hard not to do it right when you're in his camps. There's a bunch of things that I do different now that I never did before. And then training with Jon and the small group of good guys that we're with, he kind of re-sparked the flame, that fire was almost out, like I was going through the motions in here. And I'm just not going through those motions no more. So, yeah, not to say that, I'm going to run through them. It could have happened, yeah. But I'm ready for 15 minutes of fighting. You know what I'm saying?
Nice. Look for what's funny. You mentioned training with Jon Jones. Obviously, arguably the greatest of all time, at least one of the greatest of all time. No denying.
Not arguably. I don't know. You can't even argue it. He is the greatest of all time.
He's on a lot of people's.
He's the greatest of all time. Come on now.
He is. I'll be
Come
honest, on my list, he is.
He's the greatest of all time.
On my list, he is.
Let's not say he's not. He's the greatest of all time.
But you had an added bonus, right? Gordon Ryan stopped in, another all-time great, man. I just wanted to ask what that was like for you and what you took out of that.
Man, he just taught some very useful stuff. The stuff he happened to be teaching is some things that I knew. I understood the position, but he gave me more understanding of some of those positions and some of the transitions to other positions. And yeah, man, it was amazing to just feel what greatness is like on the jiu-jitsu mat, in the no-gi setting. And yeah, man, he's one of a kind. And the way that he's able to articulate the sport of jiu-jitsu is it's something. It's something. It all made sense. Something that I could pick up and use Friday night.
I was going to ask, because I think a lot of us think you two guys are going to throw hands. Was there part of you that wants to take this thing to the mat? And
Where we go. We start on our feet, right? We start on our feet. I kickbox for glory. We start on our feet. He's a striker. Maybe we'll see what his jiu-jitsu look like. We may not even get there,
Nice. Last thing for me, and then we're going to turn it over to the media here in just a second. But I have to credit you with one of the most descriptive predictions of a fight that I've ever heard in my life. And I want to read you this because this is amazing. You know that look. Like, say you go to the bar, you meet a nice young lady, you bring her back to your house and you think you're about to get it in, and then she leaves on you. That look in your eyes when she's walking out the door, I've seen that look in his eyes several times in fight. That's the look you're going to see in his eyes on Friday night. So at what point in the fight do we see that look on his eyes, and what do you think causes it to happen?
When all that gas is gone, when all that rah-rah, all those strikes are thrown, and he really feels what it feels like to take that deep breath and realize there ain't nothing there, It may take a little while to get him there, It may take some strikes from him. I'll have to evade and block and give some back, but we're going to see that in his eyes. And just so everybody knows, I did post a picture on my Instagram of what that look looks like. He looked right up in Ante's eyes as Ante was giving him the business, and that was that look. I circled his face. I tagged him in it. He knows what I'm talking about. This is not, I'm not talking. I'm just telling you what I saw, I'm just telling you what I saw. He kind of looked at him with the O face, like, give me more, I don't know.
I appreciate the prediction. All right. Well, I'll tell you what, now we'll turn it over to the media. I appreciate everybody that's joining us in. It looks like we're going to start out with Ben the Bane Davis, please.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. The first question I had was for both of you. Given the dynamic that's been established, could either of you say maybe a compliment or one positive thing about your opponent? We'll start with Maurice.
Damn, why we got to start with me? We started with him every other time. You got to start with me?
Maurice, you speak English. I figured that'd be easier.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. That's fair. Bro, he's a game fighter. You know, he's game. He's game. He's down to scrap. You know, when you hop in the cage with him, you know what's coming. You know he's going to move forward. You know he's going to throw hard strikes. And you know you're in for a fight. And I welcome all of that, you know. I wouldn't want to be here if I wasn't trying to fight the best guys, you know, so.
Thank you, brother.
I'm not a goofy. I understand what we got here. I understand.
All right, what about Renan? Is there a nice thing that you can say about Maurice as well?
Maurice é cara grande, comprido, né? Boxeia bem, movimenta, corre bastante da luta, faz bastante o adversário errar. Ele não é só cara feio, sabe brigar também. Então, porra, tô ansioso aí pra sair na mão com esse bichão aí.
Maurice is not just an ugly guy. He knows how to scrap. He knows how to move. He's a tall guy. He's got good reach on him. He's got really good boxing. He knows how to move inside the cage. He knows how to make his opponents make mistakes and capitalize on those.
Appreciate that.
Obrigado.
A little bit of love underneath all the layers, Maurice. Second one to you. First division inside the PFL. When you describe this experience being in this promotion, what are some of the things that would come to mind?
It's tough. It's challenging. It's sometimes hard to stay locked in for so long. There's a lot of aspects that go into this tournament that make it very challenging and the toughest tournament, I feel like, in MMA. And I think winning this is more than just winning a world championship. It's showing that you can endure, you know. A lot of us go through injuries in this. A lot of us don't have the, what is it? Not confidence, but don't have the, when you wake up and motivation sometimes to go to the gym. But every one of us know what's at stake, and every one of us get our asses up and get our asses to the gym and put the work in, and the ones that don't get left behind. And only the strongest survive in this tournament. And, you know, I know that, and I like it.
And last one for both you guys, $1 million, certainly one of the bigger bags, I think, in the combat sports scene. Maurice, how would that change your life in Renan?
Man, I got 2 kids. I got a fiance. I got a family. I need a house. There's a lot of things that drive me to be in this tournament. And, you know, I was heartbroken by my loss, not because I felt like I got beat, because my dumb ass thought I was winning the fight, and I chose to keep my ass on the ground when I had it in me to get up. So that probably hurt the most, knowing that I had the gas in the tank to get up and probably steal the fight, but I got a little too ahead of myself, and I got what I deserved. But the beauty of this tournament is the show must go on, and I get a second chance. So we're not going to squander it this time.
Eu não gosto de contar história triste, mas assim, vem de uma realidade muito, precária, né, velho? No começo da minha carreira passei fome, dormi no chão. E hoje estar vivendo isso aqui para mim é a realização do meu sonho, né, cara? É uma coisa que eu sempre busquei, e chegar tão perto assim, tão próximo aí de realizar, de ser campeão, de levantar esse cinturão. Já estou muito feliz. E isso mudaria totalmente a minha vida, a vida da minha família, dos meus filhos. Por isso eu trabalho tanto, busco, né? Já estou, 3 meses longe da minha família, e me empenhando, treinando pra caralho. Então, estou buscando muito e com certeza isso me levaria a outros patamares.
Well, I mean, I don't like to sit here and tell a sob story, but I've gone through phases in my life that I didn't have, you know, I didn't have something to eat. I didn't have a place to sleep. So this, for me right here, this is the culmination of a dream already. To be out here fighting the semifinals, to have the opportunity to hold the belt, to be, you know, fighting a major promotion in the world, this is already the culmination of my dream. So going out there, winning $1 million, changing the financial condition and status of my family, this is what all matters to me.
That's awesome, man. Well said. That's what it's about.
Thank you,
$1 million
gentlemen. Best of luck.
All right, Ben, thank you. Appreciate it. Next up, we'll go to Corey Newman, please.
Hey, Maurice. I got a question for you. How are you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. I can't complain, brother, you know? Living the dream.
Awesome. I just wanted to know, as John alluded to, with Ferreira being 6'8", have you ever fought someone that tall, being 6'7" yourself?
Yep. Two guys in glory, one 6'9", and one, I don't know how tall Xavier Vigny is, but he's a big motherfucker. Both of them, you know, you deal with guys in glory that are just as athletic as him. They may not look like it, but in close range, they can put they on your head. So, and they're very fluid with their boxing, the kickboxing, and, you know, because glory is primarily Dutch kickboxing. So yeah, I fought guys bigger. I know what it looks like. I know what somebody bigger than me looks like standing in front of me. I just don't think he's much bigger than me, if I got to be honest with you. Like, he's an inch taller. I'm just as wide. I weigh just as much. So really, it's fighting somebody who's almost the same size as you know, which a lot of us don't get to see at, you know, when you're 6'7" and 6'8". So
It's an interesting matchup for sure, and it's something that you don't really see, like as you said, two big guys. And my next question is, I want to know if John Jones would be in your corner. He was in your corner for your most recent fight.
I guess you guys just gonna have to wait and see now.
All right, that's all for me.
No, he's in the fight camp. He's in the fight camp, so I guess we'll see.
I love it.
Awesome.
Love it. Thank you, Corey. And
See you
yeah,
on Friday.
it's pretty incredible. I mean, these guys are sitting down and they're still towering over me, man. It's pretty wild, man, to see two guys of this size. I'm looking forward to this fight even more. All right, let's take it next to Josh Cohen, please.
Good afternoon, gentlemen. Question for you, Maurice. What are the parallels and similarities between crocheting and fighting that people may not realize?
Creativity at its highest potential. Like, when I crochet, I can't think of anything else. I have to think of my next stitch. And when I'm fighting, you know, or you think 2-3 steps ahead. You know, when I'm making something, I need to figure out how I'm going to make that and how I'm going to build or crochet what I'm crocheting. It's the same thing in striking and fighting, and you know, free form, and there's just it's a calming for me. But really, it's just the creativity on a stage, whether it's sitting in my crocheting chair, in my crocheting corner, or being in a ring, or being in a cage. So.
Interesting. In crocheting terms, what do you plan on doing to this man on Friday night?
It's not the same. I can't do that for you. It's gonna sound whack.
Not like a double stitch or something, or a hook and loop.
I'm gonna fight him. Listen. I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna stand with him and fight as smart as I can. I'm not down for a 50-50 slugfest. I'm getting too old for that. I need to use my IQ and use the tools that I've been working on to get myself a W. So that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you, sir. Best of luck to you both.
Thank you.
All right, let's take it next to Gabriel Gonzalez, please.
Hey guys, thank you for the time. First off, question for both of you. Being in a big city like New York City, the theater, obviously in the heart of town, does it add extra energy when you go out there to compete on Friday night?
Ah, com certeza, pô. Lutar aqui eu já vim na final do ano passado e fiquei aí, porra, babando vendo os caras na final ali. Pô, isso dá uma energia muito bom aí. Ainda mais está fazendo a luta principal aí. Pô, tô muito animado e muito feliz, bem preparado. E é isso.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a fighter's dream. I actually came out here to the finals last year, watched it all live. Was out here in the crowd salivating, watching these guys compete at Madison Square Garden. These are the moments we do this for.
Ter a honra de lutar com o rapaz do crochê, né?
And to, of course, have the honor of fighting.
Espero que ele consiga me presentear aí com uma peça autêntica dele.
I'd love at some point to have an authentic piece of yours.
I got you. I appreciate that. I got you. I got you. This, just so everybody knows, this is the nicest I've ever seen him be to me. I got a bad vibe from him when I first saw him because I felt like he was staring through my face. So maybe that was a wrong calculation, okay? This is a pleasant surprise.
Não, com certeza tá, porra. Eu sempre sou um cara do bem aí, trato meus adversários muito bem, independente, lá dentro a gente vai sair na mão, vai fazer o trabalho, mas aqui fora o respeito permanece. Ele é um guerreiro, tá aí na busca também, eu sei como que é. E as provocações acontecem, ele é feio pra caralho, falou que o físico dele é parecido com o meu, olha aí, mãe. Oh, brother.
I know.
Mas ele é um cara de gente boa.
I think you're wrong. I think I'm a nice guy. I treat my opponents with respect. We're going to go out there. We're going to stand and bang. We're going to do a 15-minute war. But outside of here, I think it's important to have respect one another. I think you're also wrong about us having, similar physique. You got to look at these guns here and see what I have. But other than that, I think you're wrong.
I know, the front's for show, the back's for go, though. Let's see what that back looked like, though. But
did all the niceties just go away? You were feeling good things from him, and now he's.
No, I'm good. See, listen, I got nothing but respect for it. It takes a lot to get in your underwear and 4-ounce gloves and your cup and stand in the middle of a packed arena and really just put everything on the line with all the possibilities that are out there. So if we don't have respect for each other in certain, not everybody respects each other, but if we don't, then, what do we really have, At the end of the day, even though I talk my shit, I still got respect for the guys I fight. That never goes away. It never goes away.
Absolutely. And how about as far as Gabriel's question, excitement in Madison Square Garden? I know you were talking about visiting the venue earlier.
Well, what a lot of you guys don't know is I'm from New York. I'm from a town about 3 hours, a little 3 hours upstate called Broad Albin, New York. And as a kid, I used to be like, damn, it'd be cool to go watch a show at Madison Square Garden. And not only do I get to fight there, I get to headline a card there. So it's pretty magical for me, and people get to watch me do it. My friends get to come watch me do it. So, I'll make sure I don't disappoint.
And then one final question for Renan. Renan, we know obviously Maurice has his hobby of crochet. Do you have any hobbies that you'd like to share with us?
Eu gosto de basquete, né, cara? Minhas horas vagas ali, gosto de jogar um basquetezinho, que me faz movimentar bem, me faz ficar um pouco mais rápido. Mas assim, como a gente treina muito, quase não tem tanto tempo de fazer, mas eu adoro fazer isso.
I'd have to say basketball. It's something I enjoy doing in my time off. It's a little tough to, go back to physical work on your time off. As professionals, you're constantly training, but I think that's something that helps me get my mind off of fighting, but at the same time, helps me on my movement, helps me stay sharp.
I can't say I got him there.
All right, thank you, Gabriel. We'll turn it next to Ronald E. Smith, please.
Thank you, gentlemen. Maurice, my question goes for you.
Yeah.
While you both have respect for each other, you did say that you felt that Renan was giving you a look in the past. Do you feel in this fight, as you are in replacement, do you think he's overlooking you and looking past you to the finals already?
Man, that's on him. That has nothing to do with me. Like I say all the time, I can only control the things I can control. I can't control where his brain goes or how he feels or how he thinks. All I can control is my mindset, my game plan, and what I'm prepared to do. So, like I say to every opponent, if they do, shame on them. But, that's up to him. That's up to him, his coaches, how he feels. I know where my mind's at. I know where my head's at. I know where my heart's at. And all I'm focused on is getting my hand raised Friday night.
And Renan, to you, as this is an injury replacement in your fight, how has training camp changed for you? Do you have to do a different way for this fight, or are you looking at the same way?
Eu acho que não, porque muda um pouco a estratégia, né? Mas o condicionamento continua o mesmo, o trabalho continua duro. Em nenhum momento eu subestimo meus adversários, entendeu? Eu sei que vai ter um cara duro e bem preparado do outro lado, buscando passar para a final. Então, a minha cabeça está muito tranquila quanto a isso. Estou muito bem preparado fisicamente e meu psicologicamente também estou muito bem. Então, não mudou nada, só a preparação intensificou, a gente mudou ali a estratégia para chegar aí na sexta-feira bem e ter essa mão levantada.
Not really. You know that once you're here, once you're in this tournament, you're going to fight tough guys regardless of who it is. Second seed, third seed, fourth seed, fifth seed. It doesn't really matter. So obviously you have to change and adjust training just from a perspective of, the opponent's fortes. But I just feel extremely well prepared, both mentally and physically.
Thank you, gentlemen. Can't wait to see y'all go ahead. Be safe.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Ronald, for that. We'll turn it next to Jay Christian Gary, please.
What's good, y'all? Jay Christian Gary, Focus Fights Audio. How you doing, Crochet Boss? Como você anda, Robin? How y'all doing?
Gucci bandanas, baby. Gucci bandanas on a hot summer day. Seems like a good
You
one.
know it. Now, I just got a couple of questions. Well, one question for each of you, and then another question to ask both of you. First of all, Crochet Boss, obviously I know you looked at that poster several thousand times and couldn't believe that you were fighting, you know, the MMA equivalent of LaMarcus Aldridge. But considering the fact that, yeah, I know, they made comparisons of him and everything when he started up, but still though, that poster could have easily been you versus Rizvan Kuniev, who fought Renan Ferreira earlier on in the season, then ended up getting his fight result overturned. Do you feel, and I'm not trying to disparage the Problema in any way, shape, or form, considering that he could toss me halfway across the room, but do you feel that a fight against Kuniev would have been better served against Ferreira?
If I got to be honest with you, Cunio's a cheater in my eyes, and cheaters shouldn't be allowed. I don't know what they found or what he tested positive for, but cheaters should not be allowed to compete at the highest level. To my knowledge, Renan hasn't cheated in any way, shape, or form. He's just an exceptional athlete, and he's here to fight. And like I said, I've always wanted to fight the best guys. He's one of the best guys in the tournament, and he's one of the biggest guys in the tournament, and I don't shy away from a challenge. So, no, I like the matchup, actually.
Understood, dude. Understood. Now for Renan and your interpreter as well. When it comes down to this particular fight, I know that you fought Fabricio Verdum early on in your career and you felt cheated out of that opportunity to vanquish a legend. But considering that you're 2 fights away from $1 million, do you feel that this is the biggest opportunity in your career so far? Pardon the pun?
Ah, com certeza, com certeza. Tô muito feliz aí com essa oportunidade de fazer essa luta principal aí. Porra, pra mim é motivo de muita alegria. Por isso estou tão focado, tô tão treinado aí, pô. Pegar um adversário duro aí como o Greene, vai ser porra, eu quero estar sempre lutando com os melhores aí, me provando. E sei que, assim, todos nós temos muito a evoluir, mas essa oportunidade estou abraçando como a maior da minha vida.
Absolutely. This is the biggest fight of my life. I second what Maurice said. I'm out here to fight the best, and I know he's on that bracket. So, this, as I said, it's the biggest opportunity of my life, and I'm gonna make sure I grab it.
Makes 2 of us.
Okay, deal. Now, final question for both of you respectively, considering the fact that y'all are 2 fights away, 2 wins away from $1 million. I mean, I know you, Crochet Boss, love to knit sweaters and train with John Jones. You, Ferreira, come out of the slums, the favelas. But what would $1 million do to help people learn more about your respective journeys?
Wait. For one, I don't knit no mother sweaters, okay? I make hats. Let's just get that very clear. The dopest hat.
My apologies.
I'm just saying. For one, I don't knit sweaters. I got grandma. I got homegirls to do that for me. That's why they call me Mr. Steal Your Granny, okay? We hang out together.
I'm sorry, Maurice. I'm sorry.
But man, what if somebody said, "Hey, you have an opportunity to win $1 million"? How would you feel? Regardless of what you came from, you know, he didn't grow up with much. I didn't grow up with a whole lot. I had a lot of things I needed, but a lot of my wants, you know, we didn't have those. And to be able to give my family, you know, the things that I never had, or to make sure they could go to college. It's just simple for me, man. You know, I don't want no Gucci and no, I want a new van, motherfucker. we're fighting for a new van, okay? I got a piece of plastic over my window of my van, okay? So my motivation is.
Let me guess, you trying to get that Maybach?
Hell no, I'm trying to get that Kia Carnival, you dig? Motherfucker, go hard now. But
Understood.
But man, like, just imagine you going from not really having an outlook. Like, I didn't go to college. I don't plan on going to college, and I started in this career late at 25 years old. I was 330 pounds. People used to tell me I'd never make it nowhere in MMA. Well, I proved them wrong. And
Wow.
yeah, if you go back and look at my first fight, I was about 270. I never fought a day in my life. So this is like, to be able to transform yourself and transform your mind and empower yourself, like, cut it out. And then on top of that, people used to say, you know, me crocheting and all this about me, why are you doing that? Well, guess what? Like, I'm a professional crocheter, fam. I make money crocheting. So, yeah, I've jumped leaps and bounds and just this million, it's not even the $1 million, okay? It's not even the $1 million. The money gonna be there. It's being a world champion. They can never take that away from you. It's having that belt wrapped around my waist. When you looked at it, the 2023 champ, Maurice Greene is the name. So before we even think about what that looks like, you know, I got somebody to get through right here. So like I said a million times, I'm 100% focused on the task at hand. And I'm locked in to figuring out the puzzle of Renan. So.
Eu acho que isso é a concretização de muitos anos de trabalho, de esforço, né, de abdicação, deixando de viver vários momentos em família, de estar junto com os meus pais, e com certeza isso mudaria a vida deles também, né, porque já estou nessa busca há muito tempo, me dedicando muito, e isso realmente é o que eu tenho buscado, é o que eu tenho trabalhado para tudo isso. Então, com certeza isso mudaria a minha vida. Mas para chegar a esse momento tem todo um processo, né? Tem toda uma estrada, uma escada. Eu sei que não é fácil, também não me deslumbro, e eu não fico pensando no que eu vou fazer quando chegar. Eu só estou vivendo o momento, estou muito feliz, me preparando para cada passo que eu vou dar, e isso com certeza vai ser a consequência.
I mean, this is a culmination of a dream that I've been dreaming along with my family, my kids, my parents, and it would just go to show that all of the sacrifices we've gone through have been worth it. All the times that I've spent far away from home, all the important dates that I've missed, all of that's going to be worth it for this moment. But before we even go out and think of this moment, before we go out and think about that moment, I got to think of this moment here. I can't go thinking of, you know, oh yeah, what am I going to do with the money, with the belt and everything else? I got to focus on the task at hand, and that's Maurice Greene.
I see. Other than that, thanks for having me on the call. Mejor habilidades, problema. Best of skill to you, Crochet Boss.
Thank you. See, we had this conversation last time. I appreciate that.
No luck involved. No luck.
No
involved.
problem.
All right, let's take it next to Jose Matos, please.
Hello, gentlemen. My question is for Maurice. Maurice, how has the previous losses in your career gotten you ready for this moment here in this fight against Renan?
Man, every loss, I mean, every fight I learned something, right? I can't say like my previous losses got me ready for Renan in particular. Your losses really put you in a place where you have to go back and reevaluate what happened and what you did wrong, and you got to be honest with yourself. And I'm honest with myself, and I understand why I lost my last fight. And we just don't let that happen again, right? We just don't let it happen again. I lost my last fight because I said a million times, because I thought I was ahead, and I kind of took my foot off the gas, which is stupid. He's all gas. See, he's all gas. So the only way to meet somebody who's all gas is you got to match his energy. You got to match his energy, and you got to match his energy in a smart way and use your IQ to get past him. And The IQ's there, and we're going to get past them.
And then same question for Renan.
A vida é sempre um aprendizado, né, cara? A gente a gente tá sempre aprendendo aí com os nossos erros. Eu procurei evoluir, assistir bastante aí no que eu errei, no que eu posso estar melhorando, posso estar buscando. E cada luta é uma estratégia diferente, cada adversário é uma estratégia diferente. Às vezes tem algumas lutas que não se encaixam muito bem ali, você com seu adversário, e acontece ali coisas que você não gostaria, e tudo isso a gente tira um aprendizado. Então, porra, tentei buscar o máximo aí, trabalhar as minhas dificuldades para estar pronta aí para essa próxima luta. Maurice Greene é um cara que troca sempre de base, que está sempre movimentando muito, um cara que tem um gás muito bom, mas ele sabe da minha explosão, sabe que eu vou estar buscando essa luta aí a todo momento.
I think every single fight, every single loss in particular, it's a learning experience. And I try to sum up those learning experiences in every single camp, watching my tape, trying to perfect my craft, and seeing how that matches with my opponent's craft. And looking at Maurice Greene, he's got a very big gas tank. He's a guy that switches stance a lot. He moves around very well, and as he said, he knows I got a heavy foot on the gas pedal, and I'm going to be moving forward a lot. So, should be a good fight.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, we'll turn it now to our last question today from MMA Locker Room.
What's going on, fellas? I just got a question for both you guys. I'm going to start off with the problem Ferreira. So it seems like you've been training with one of the UFC legends, Junior Dos Santos. Can you tell us one thing that you picked out from training with them as of late that you're going to take into this fight?
Pô, treinar com um cara experiente como o Cigano é maravilhoso. O cara passa uma energia, né, uma voracidade ali, um cara que anda para dentro o tempo todo, né? Se for por ele, faz sparring todo dia, sai na mão todo dia. Então é um cara muito sinistro, que eu aprendi muita técnica de boxe com ele ali, alguns toques ali. Então é um cara que está sempre puxando a gente, sempre na energia positiva, né? Cantando muito, canta o treino todo. Mas é um cara ali que eu já tenho como um irmãozão.
Well, I think one of the best things about him is just the vibe he brings over to any and all training session. He's never shy to, teach you something. If it was up to him, he'd be sparring every single day. Always, giving us, specifically me, good pointers on the boxing side of things. So whenever I'm with him, I feel like a sponge, always trying to absorb as much as possible. And I mean, yeah, he also does enjoy singing a lot during training.
All right, and then last one for you, Crochet Boss, a.k.a. Crazy Cat Guy. How's it going, my man?
Oh, I'm good, man. I'm good. I can't complain.
Yeah, man, definitely can't complain. Another day, now you're back at the main event, representing for all the people out there for Jackson Wink camp. Just talk to me about...
not Jackson Wink. Team Bones, not Jackson Wink. Team Bones. I don't go to Jackson Wink. I haven't been there in a couple years.
Got it. Love the update. Love to always be corrected where we stand at. But can you tell me a little bit about the training that you've been doing recently with Gordon Ryan over there working on the jiu-jitsu, and if there is anything that he, put you on to kind of, take into this game plan with your fight coming up on this Friday?
Gordon came in and taught 2 classes, and in those 2 classes, I was able to learn through what he taught, because he taught some very useful, functional things for me. However, I haven't been training with Gordon Ryan in preparation for this fight. John had brought him out, but Gordon did take the time and give us some of his time and teach us some real slick, tricky things. And I'm very grateful for the time that we had with Gordon and the way I was able to pick up what he had taught pretty fast, and it kind of like, it was useful to a point where it all made sense to me, because like I said, the way he can articulate jiu-jitsu and explain positions and why we do it and our options from it was just amazing. So inadvertently, I gained so much in those 2 sessions, and I'm forever grateful for not only Gordon for coming, but John Jones for bringing him out and sharing him with the group of guys in the room, as he always does with anybody he brings out. He allows us to, he allows us to have some of that time with him as well in that room. And I'm forever grateful for my team and John Jones, because, he put everything together for us, which is the reason why I'm no longer at Jackson Wink. So.
Got it. Love to hear that. And then the last one, just to follow up with you, Maurice. I mean, you done been everywhere, fought in all the organizations, Ultimate Fighter, competitor, fought in the LFA, professional kickboxer. I mean, what's it going to mean, all those years of experience, to finally put it together for this fight that's going to be your biggest fight coming up this Friday?
I can't say it's a period, because the period on it would be when I get that belt strapped around my waist. But this is one more step in the direction to, what I've been working for 14 years. And to be honest with you, for most of it, I kind of didn't see it to be a possibility because of where my head was at, some of the choices I was making. But believe me when I tell you, I'm 100% dedicated to this craft. I'm loving the process again. And what I mean by loving the process is you can love the money you're making, you can love fighting, but it's really something when you can sit back and enjoy going to practice every day, even those days you don't want to get there. So, man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited to get in there and right a wrong from my last fight. Really excited to right that wrong. It's going to be tough, right? We all are tough. But I'm really excited to right that wrong.
Best of skill to both you guys. Great job hosting today, John.
Thank you as well, brother. All right, well, listen, thank you to all the media members that joined in today. A great way to kick off fight week, and a fight here that I think looks like it's going to be fireworks. One final reminder, the 2023 PFL Playoffs continue this Friday, August the 18th at the Hulu Theater at Madison Square Garden. And we'll also be back next Wednesday, August 23rd as well. And it all airs on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and leads into the 2023 PFL World Championship in November. Don't miss out. We'll see you this week.
Wait. Oh. Man, I want a face-off, man. No touchy, though. No touchy. No touchy, okay?
Face-off. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Come on.
All right, can we get a face-off for the cameras?
I've been waiting for this. Come on.
I'm not standing in between them.
I'm not touching, man. I'm a grown-ass man.
Não vai encostar.
Hey, I'm no grown-ass man. We gonna be able to do that soon. Oh, this is great. Yeah, buddy.
Vambora.
Yeah, buddy. It's gonna be one. He about 6'9", ain't he?
All right, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
About 6'9", ain't he?